I mean, I was a kid. There's the ferry, and there's literally people wearing, the Palestinian, headdresses, the very weave, and all over the boat. And that didn't matter. And every time I'd go over, and there's not many restaurants, so we come back over with my kids. I was there like 4 days to eat in Galveston. When they go back, they would always search us. And I noticed, because, see, they give them the directive. They don't even know why. It's train the slaves. The Americans are the terrorists. And now we have this. Pastor, are you aware of the secret documents that have been leaked? We've leaked a lot of them, saying gun owners, Christians, constitutionalists are really the terrorists and the number one threat to the government?
Yes, I did hear that, and it's interesting the timing of this happening, just days after that came out in the news, seems like.
Well, I'm looking at your picture. I mean, this is pretty dangerous. Now, so how did this end? I mean, did they have any little celebrations when they put you in the car, like, you idiot, you should have let us search?
Oh yeah. Wait till you hear this. So after I'm laying there in a pool of my own blood, being stepped on and tasered repeatedly. This was the punishment section of what they were doing to me. They were basically getting their vindication. Well, finally, thank God, the electricity finally stopped. They get off my head. And I hear a chorus of voices saying, get up, stand up. So I kind of stagger to my feet with their help. Blood gushing out of the side of my head. They cuffed me behind my back, put me in the trailer, and that's when 3 Border Patrol agents started laughing at me, literally just laughing, mocking. Oh, you're not so tough now. You didn't think we were going to search you, did we? Well, I guess we did get to search you. And guess what they found when they searched me? Nothing. They found nothing illegal. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I've never even been arrested in my life.
But don't worry. They're going to have their pension funds taken. They're going to have their children's futures destroyed. They're enjoying all the vaccines they give their kids. They're going to enjoy having their kids in diapers when they're 30. They're going to get all the curses they want, too. Because this is the new... Pastor, do you know what the New World Order is?
Yes. I'm familiar with... actually, I've never listened to your show, but I've watched many of your films, and I think they're great.
Well, what was it like to live the police state?
It was just what you just said. I was living your film on the police state. I was right there, and I'm so sick of hearing the word conspiracy theory. I think if I hear it again, I'm going to throw up, because I want somebody to look at my bloodied up face on YouTube and then tell me it's a theory about the fact that, this country's turning into a police state.
Now, Pastor, how long did these celebrations go on, though, about how they'd destroyed the Fourth Amendment, annihilated what the veterans fought for, attacked a pastor? Then they weren't low enough at that point. They had to just, add just no honor. They had to add the icing of thuggishness to it.
Right, and as they're wiping the blood, they had blood. They had rubber gloves on, but they still had blood, on their gloves, up their wrists. They had blood all over themselves. And then they started asking me if I have HIV, and they're joking with me and laughing at me and mocking me.
It's all about dehumanizing you.
Half hour? I don't know how long it was.
So it was a great celebration of evil. Okay.
Because, because the rest of their buddies were out searching my car during this time, turning up nothing.
Well, you're lucky you didn't smart off at that point, or there'd have been some weapons and drugs found in there, their main product.
Finally, at one point, after just this went on and on, because I was just sitting there silently for most of it, just really shook up, obviously. Finally, I did get a little angry and said, because this is what made me finally, get upset, even in my position of being handcuffed and bloodied and everything, is when the guy walked up to me, C. Diaz, he comes up to me and says, if you would have just answered the questions, we would have let you go.
Oh, yeah. The Nazis, when they were torturing people, always made it your fault. Oh, so it is your fault? Go ahead.
There was
what did he say to you?
No one said they're sorry that it happened. Nothing.
Well, stay there. I want to come back and finish up with this, and we appreciate you coming on the show. But my guys just went through hell in Boston. I mean, they had foreigners who hardly speak English going, what camera? Are you terrorists? And, grabbing other people that had cameras and, saying they were together, other guys, and just jabbing the Americans. You work for us now! Ha, ha, ha! We train you how to be slave! Ha, 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 ha! It's our country now! Ha, yeah! Alex Jones here with a question. What does humidity mean to you? Most people think of hot and sticky summer days, but many people are beginning to realize that humidity can be a valuable source of pure drinking water. That's why I'd like you to visit acolablue.com. Acola Blue is a state-of-the-art atmospheric water generator, producing purified drinking water from the humidity in the air using reverse osmosis and a 5-stage carbon and UV light filtration system, which produces great tasting water at an unbeatable price. Finally, drinking water that you control. I use one every day. Say goodbye to expensive water delivery services and storing 5-gallon bottles of water in your home. The Ecola Blue 28 is shipped right to your home, ready to make close to 7 gallons a day, right out of the box. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Call Ecola Blue right now at 1-800-691-6043. That's 1-800-691-6043. Or visit Ecola Blue at ECOLOBLUE.com today.
It's incredible. Going back to Pastor Steve L. Anderson, where is it going from here now? I mean, they've given you false charges. You said there were 2 charges. One of them was them making you block the road. What's the next one?
Right, and neither of these charges is even anything major. It's just a couple misdemeanors.
Well,
One was just blocking the road by not cooperating with the illegal search that they were trying to do. And number 2 was failure to obey the officer's order to open the door. So, you know, failing to obey and blocking the highway are the only things I'm being charged with. When in reality,
failure to obey
are the criminals.
I mean, can a cop come to your door and say, mow my lawn, failure to obey, I'll arrest you? It's the 4th Amendment. And they've got these things 100 miles. Okay, so what's the aftermath of this been like? You know, probably 1 million views on the web or more. What feedback have you gotten? Are they proud of themselves? Are you going to sue their lordships?
Well, obviously, I mean, otherwise, who's going to pay for my stitches to my head, the 11 stitches? Who's going to pay for my windows that I already had to pay to have replaced? I'm having to pay a lawyer to defend me. I mean, obviously, I've got to get retribution here. But not only that, what I want the most out of this is for this to get out to as many people as possible, just to wake people up that this is happening in the United States. Because these guys didn't act like this was anything special. To them, it seemed to me that this was another day at the office.
No. This happens, sir. You haven't seen the literally hundreds of videos of people that are sick of this 100 miles into the country being searched. You haven't. I mean, had you seen all the people sick of this? This is a big phenomenon.
Yeah, I've seen a few, but I'm telling you, we've got to get this out, and that's the biggest thing I want to see is for people to blog this, YouTube
But what's
it,
wrong with
whatever.
internal checkpoints and World War II vets having foreigners jab and yell at them? I mean, that's freedom, sir. The veterans fought and died so we could live in a Nazi hell.
Exactly.
Well, now, were they proud of themselves? I mean, what about the police at the station? Was this another celebration?
Here's the thing. In their minds, they won the battle by beating and humiliating and torturing me uncondemned. They won the battle. Now, when it comes to the officers at the police station, you know, once I got to the actual jail, I was driven, 75 miles away to an emergency room where I was, my head was stitched and so forth. The people at the hospital were kind of, they could tell that I was well-spoken, I was a nice guy, and they seemed a little shocked. Why is this guy here? What have you done to him?
Well, do you understand that whether you're Hispanic, black, white, any of it, we are the targets. Anybody who produces, anybody that works, they've gone, hey, these are suckers. They'll let us get away with anything. Well, just declare we're God.
When I was in the hospital, they asked me, they said, what happened to you? And I just pointed at the DPS officer and said, well, ask him. He's the one who did this to me. And he's, well, we had to get him out of the car, But then when they took me down to the jail, a few people were asking me questions while I was at the jail. And they said, why are you here? Why are you the one that got arrested? They said,
don't worry.
They are telling me I needed to sue and everything. That's what the jailer was telling me.
Well,
believe that. The jailer's telling me to sue them and to complain.
You reap what you sow, and I hope these cops know all this comes back on them. I mean, really, I'm scared to screw somebody, not just because I'm a moral guy, but I won't do it because I know. I mean, you don't just get judged when you die, Pastor, from my experience. You get judged for what you do in this life, and your family gets judged.
Absolutely. It's going to come around to you in this life. You're going to reap what you sow, no matter who you are. Good or bad, you're going to reap what you sow in this life, for sure. Hey, can I talk a little bit about Romans 13? Because this is what people are throwing in my face, and it's really
I saw the comments. I saw the comments on there going, you should have followed the order. It's of the Lord. All government is of God. Well, then why did we fight Hitler? Why did the founders fight? Why were all the prophets killed or put in prison? Why did they go into the lion's den, the fiery furnace, for following orders? Why were Christians burned at the stakes? That is a fraud, and Hitler's favorite quote was Romans 13. I want you to make your statement on that, Pastor, but before you leave,
listen, I'm a pastor, and I actually have Romans 13 memorized in addition to almost half the New Testament, okay? And first of all, let me say this. Many of these modern Bible versions are changing Romans 13. And if you look at them, they're changing the text to give it an authoritarian feel. But if you read, a King James Bible, Romans 13, the first words of the chapter are, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. And, of course, the highest power in this country is the U.S. Constitution, not a Border Patrol officer or DPS officer. But not only that, as you read through the chapter, he's talking about rulers and laws, okay? He says, for rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. I think anyone will agree that a DPS officer or a Border Patrol agent is not a ruler or the supreme authority of our country.